Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. We're recording.
I know. I'm saying hello.
Hello.
I'm Joe.
I am Em.
This is Still Saying Yes to Us. What would you like to know today?
What would I like to know today?
Yes.
Well, I thought we would do something a little bit funny, a little bit different. This is Couples, a game by We're Not Really Strangers. And it's where you ask each other questions and get to know each other better and see how well you know your partner. Sometimes these are dangerous. Sometimes these are fun. We'll find out what happens. Ready, Joe?
Sure. I think Harlo wants to play too.
Harlo, are you going to play? You want to sniff?
Smell it.
Sniff, sniff?
Oh, here comes the eclipse too.
All right. Who's going first, babe?
You go first.
Am I asking or answering?
Asking.
Okay.
Since I
don't. All right. Level 1. How do I show you I'm upset without telling you I am upset?
How do I show you?
Or how do I show?
I'll do it. I'll do it first.
Okay.
How do I if anything, I get quiet.
We both get quiet.
It's for me, it's like when something becomes it's like, I hate to say this, when something becomes annoying or when I become upset, I go like, I just calmly say, I try not to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
That's first thing. Basically, I just get very quiet. What do you see when
you get upset? You withdraw. You withdraw into yourself. If you're really upset, you will go outside and start doing something physical to clear your head.
Yes.
I'm trying to think how else you show me you're upset. You say it. You verbally use words.
I try, and I get irritated. I really get irritated inside. It's like, ah.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you'll say. It's been a while since you've done that with something I've done. Have I irritated you recently?
No, but the cat's making a lot of noise. No, not really. No, I can't say anything.
The cat's in your toolbox or something.
Oh.
She's chewing on the paper.
Oh, nice. No, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
If anything, it's like when you want to buy something, like on Amazon, you ask for my opinion, and I'm like, what do you want?
Well, obviously, I wouldn't have mentioned it to you if I didn't want it.
Right. But if anything, that's the if anything, that's the most irritating.
Okay, I'll work on that. I will.
Cool.
You should see what I don't ask for.
I can imagine. Can imagine.
All right. So, do you want? I think you were supposed to answer the question about me.
How do I show you I'm upset without telling you I'm upset?
How do I show you?
You tell me. There's no is and ifs or buts. You just like, no. And I try to figure. Then I have to ask questions because unfortunately I'm male and I'm dumb. This is the Harlo.
Come on, Harlo.
There we go.
All right, we'll put that one there.
All right. Rate each other's cooking skills on a scale of 1 to 10. Compare and explain. I think your cooking is up there.
Thank you.
You have experience that I don't have, and a lot of it comes from your grandmother.
Yeah.
Whether or not you cooked with her, I don't know. but you were exposed to stuff that I.
My grandma was an improviser in her recipes, so I'll follow a recipe.
Sorry, the cats are fighting.
Cats are having a cat fight.
Go
It's a
ahead.
hissy fit. Your cooking, I'd say it's about a 5 to a 6 on a scale of 10. And I usually do most of the cooking because I'm better at it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. Totally okay with that. But I recently went through the summer where I had broken my foot and ankle. And then after I healed from that 8 weeks, about, 3-4 weeks later, I herniated the disc in my back and I was down for 6 weeks again.
That was no fun.
So he was cooking a lot and I have no complaints. I was fed. I was taken care of and I was fed.
Well, if anything, my cooking is I have to have a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I can't. When I how would you say, not freeload, but
improvise.
I improvise. My improvisation, when I improvise, it's going to be rice and mixed vegetables with a meat. Well, that's the stuff I grew up on, or meatloaf.
Yeah, you made meatloaf one night. It was really good.
Yeah, well, I had to have a recipe.
Yeah, there's a recipe in the book.
So that's the thing is I can't improvise on food. Here's the thing, when I make food, it's a recipe that's already written for me. Then what I do is I'll add a little bit more or something else.
Yeah.
But I don't have the creativity that you have for food. But however, I like when I'm not afraid to try something.
No. Which is good because I was, and now our kids, we have one child who has severe food processing issues. The texture really drives him bonkers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. So he's not too adventurous, but he's even willing to try stuff. We've got it. So you don't have to eat what you don't like, but you do have to give it a try.
Yeah.
So, and the oldest is always willing to try something new.
Yes, actually, he's more adventurous, or seems more adventurous than me.
Yeah.
When I was in the military, I got to go to Korea, and that food was otherworldly. So I do have appreciation for kimchi now, so that most people don't have. So it's nice to find it. When we were living in Columbus, Kroger's always had the kimchi, so I'd get the jar. I always like, yeah, I can get that, but it wasn't the same, and nobody appreciated it here. So
Right. The oldest might
we'll have to
appreciate some kimchi.
Yeah, but I open the jar, and I know you're going to say, "What the heck is that?" Throw it away.
I'm forewarned. It's already bad.
But yeah, I would say I have no problem with your cooking skills. I'm gonna say I guess you had more practice than I did. Mine would be short order, where
quick, easy meals.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, but
because my go-to was rice and a bag of
frozen mixed vegetables and balsamic and butter.
Yeah, balsamic and butter. I love balsamic. So, all right.
All right.
You want to do another card?
Yeah, level 1, 2, or 3.
Let's do a 2.
We're gonna do a 2.
I'm adventurous.
All right, level 2. What's one small thing I do that tells you everything you need to know about me?
Say that again.
What is one small thing I do that tells you everything you need to know about me?
Bet you're still here.
Same could be said for you. Yeah, you too, Kat.
No.
You're not climbing the shelves.
No. But no, I have to say that you're still here because, unfortunately,
I was taught to run.
I don't know if I was taught to run. I was just taught I don't know how to put into a word. They're like, oh, I was like, yeah, you're here. Good deal. But so what? No, I don't know.
Number 2, please.
Do super play. Let's get one in the center. What do you overthink most in our relationship, if anything? What do you overthink?
Spending. I'm always worried I've spent too much or I've bought something I shouldn't have. I have hyperfixations and it worries me that I've wasted so much.
I think I'm the opposite. There's stuff that I want that I won't buy for myself, just for the simple fact, like what is it? I'd say if anything, this is the biggest thing. And like, if I could, I would buy myself an old Willys Jeep and play with it. But here's the thing: the cost of buying it and the cost of repairing it and maintaining it. I don't see right now that it's worth it. And I have to say, you're not the opposite. But like this studio has studio equipment from when you had a photography business.
Yeah.
So like the lights and the umbrellas and stuff, you bought it.
And I tried to run a bit. I am the queen of I'll try it once.
Yeah.
I won't try anything once. If I succeed, fantastic. Most of the time I fail.
And I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Where I know that I have to be someplace and I can be someplace. And I like the steady paycheck. And you're like the opposite.
Oh no, I am not the opposite about money. I hated working gig. That's why I never did great at it.
Oh.
I hate gig work.
So I was never a gig work. I mean, would this be considered gig work? So
something like that.
This whole thing is new to me. Because like
New
I said,
to me too.
I'm a 9-to-5 person. I like going at a certain time. It's the routine I need. And unfortunately, our economy has said, you know what? You got to do that and something else. And this is the first time in many years where not necessarily had to, but I felt that I needed to, if anything.
Yeah, the economy is in such a way right now that our incomes have made do for this long, but they're not making do anymore, and if I go back to school,
it's only going to help.
Oh yeah, it's going to hurt for while I'm in school, but it's going to help long term.
Yeah. What was it? Right. The other day I was telling you, like, I'm making twice the amount my parents have ever made in their entire lives, and we still can't
make it meet.
Yeah, make ends meet. So it's crazy.
All right.
I feel bad for millennials.
I feel bad for Gen Z and Alpha too.
Yeah, you guys got to deal with not our Gen X stuff. We'll get there someday.
You can hate us one day, but not today.
Yeah.
All right, let's try a card from the third, because we're almost done here. Oh, I like this one. What's a superpower of mine that perhaps I am unaware of?
Your superpower that you're unaware of?
Yeah.
I'd have to say dealing with people.
Really?
Yeah. Not that you know, when you're alone and like we're in the car.
Different ball game.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. But however, as you see here in these videos, you talk more than I do. You're more open than I am.
Yeah.
So that's your superpower. Now, like when you worked for the telephone company, that's like it was a customer service position. And you're more willing to engage people per se.
Oh yeah.
I'm not like that. It takes a while for me to talk. Let's say talk to people. That's dumb.
Warm up.
Warm up. Yeah, that's better. Warm up to people. And that's one of those things. I'm curious about people, but I'm not willing to step out of my comfort zone right off the bat. You're more willing to do that.
Gotcha. I think one of your superpowers that you're unaware of, your ability to take a calculated risk and have it succeed.
Awesome.
Like Joe will look at the pros, the cons, make decisions, and every time you make a decision, if I listen to you, I am almost 75% better off than I was if I would have listened to myself.
Well, here's a question. Which one, at what point in time did one not work?
One what?
Calculated risk.
Back in Missouri when I was working for MWA and I went to work for Thrive, that jump I think was a great mistake. Huge mistake.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, not to.
I was in a good place. They were giving me the hours I wanted. I was making enough to pay for stuff. I was getting greedy because it was a pay increase and it was closer to home. I thought I was going to do great. And the boss and his wife made my life a living nightmare for the 8 weeks I was there. I was
only 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was only employed with them for like 8 to 10 weeks. And 5 of those weeks, I was sitting at home on a furlough. That's how bad it was. I was only in store 5 weeks. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. No.
Cool. We're going to end it here.
Oh.
If you think this content is
entertaining
or interesting, if you have a question, leave a comment below, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe for more content. All right. This is Eclipse. All right. Good night, Eclipse.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.